Hey everyone, welcome back to the Archangel 15. Coming at you today with part 5 of suppressed medical science. Anything I deem worthy of suppressed medical science here on the Archangel 15 is usually like pretty cutting edge stuff. I'm honestly getting to the point where I'm running out of things. I've already covered a lot in the previous 4 videos to this. Please watch those before watching this one. Like the stuff I'm talking about now, like you may say, well, why doesn't he mention this, that? More than likely, I probably did mention it in past videos. As always, I start my medical videos with a disclaimer. I'm not a licensed medical doctor. Please consult a physician or specialist in your particular area of need before making any medical related decisions. In the future, I would like to maybe consult or like to actually obtain some real doctors to maybe back up some of the stuff I'm saying, so it's not just so pie in the sky. Some of it is like so very deep that like I've read books where like doctors that like actually speak out against it either like they're killed, they lose their medical license, or like face severe hardships, like probably they kill their kids or something. And I talked in the past about, like I said, a lot of this stuff, and like some of it I'm going to expound on. We'll keep this one pretty short. I mentioned about the Biofield Tuning stuff. I recently just reached out to Eileen Day McCusick. She's like a pioneer in the field, and sent her a long email about various stuff that I'm kind of I'm into right now. But I've kind of correlated it to this beach camping that I've been into. I've been doing a lot of camping right on the beach, like right up near the water. And I've noticed that like when you wake up in the morning, your field feels like very purified, and it's like very similar to undergoing a biofield tuning session with the tuning forks, or also acutonics with the weighted ones you use on various chakras and meridians. Very similar to acupuncture, but with weighted tuning forks. Very amazing stuff there. I have some clips here where I can show you can actually hear the reverberations of sound in various areas. It doesn't sound like a real big deal, but it's very huge suppression. I tried to start my own practice, and like they would never ever let me do it. It's that big of a deal. It would like jeopardize the pharmaceutical industry. It would jeopardize doctors, specialists, and like it opens up a deeper element into the Kabbalah and physics that they do not want people to know about whatsoever. But I started, like I said, camping on the beach, and some beaches have opposition to like this. A little loophole around this is to carry a fishing pole with you or take a fishing. I go fishing anyway, so like you kind of just like you can kind of kill two birds with one stone almost. But if you get the like whatever license or like a angler registry, like say state of New Jersey, that you need, you're actually protected under a separate set of laws. Like you can actually call like the marine police, the marine enforcement police or fish police or whatever it is, a wildlife conservation officer, and they will like come and tell the person like, no, this person's completely in their right to do what they want to do. Also, there's this thing in this title, Territorial Waters or Territorial zones, or like basically it gets into maritime admiralty law, which like Territorial Waters is basically the mean difference, like the middle between high tide and low tide at astronomical tides. And essentially, like if you're in the water, nobody really owns the water. Like you can go like in like a very high scale town, and like they may own the beach all the way up to the water, but or like control it or whatever, and be able to force it. But like when in the water, it's a separate entity. And like a lifeguard, for instance, has no authority. They can go up and talk to them. Like they can whistle you and tell you to come in or whatever. They cannot come out and physically get you. They can try to make a scene, make you embarrassed or something like that, but you can ask a lifeguard this. They do not have authority. Like you can sue them if they come in the water and attempt to grab you. Now, if you're hurt or something like that, they're just doing their job, obviously. But like I'm very like adamant about this. Nobody owns the water, essentially, and like it's very self-evident why all the rich people want to have all the beachfront real estate. I almost think that they should like burn all the huge houses down and like turn it into like wild or national parks or something like that. And so yeah, I've noticed a huge difference. It's like amazing. You go to sleep with the waves crashing, and it's like a sound machine. You look up, you see this. Sometimes you'll see the stars if it's a clear night, and shooting stars, and some UFO phenomenon, the moon. It's absolutely a totally different experience than in the daytime. Like this, like everything just opens up. Like your thoughts, like kind of get into astral projection. Really cool stuff. And then like if you like, sometimes it's kind of difficult to sleep because like you're like used to sleeping inside in a bed, maybe in air conditioning or something like that. But when you wake up in the morning, it's like all you do, you get up and you like where am I? And you just start laughing, like you get like this smile on your face, and it's like you feel like fatigued. It's like I said, like almost like your body went through like a really deep experience. Like it's really really like profound, and like I notice my face looks clearer, and other things as well. Obviously, you want to watch out that you don't get the tide comes in, and you don't get your stuff washed away or get wet and look stupid. But anyhow, yeah, so that's pretty profound stuff there. Also, this I've talked in the past about the salt air and electrolytes, how like it creates like there's like an electrolyte effect, gets into the whole body, electric phenomenon as well. So I talked in the past suppressed medical science video about blood detoxification, how leaching used to be a big thing, or like bloodletting it's called. And like I really believe now there's so much nasty toxic stuff in the air that like it'd probably be good to do this. I don't do this, to be honest with you. I'm not ballsy enough to just cut myself and bleed. And now if I like do it by accident and I bleed, it's kind of like I guess a positive thing. Gets almost into like a deeper spiritual thing as well. There's like a deeper spiritual element with like blood, like and sanctity, and like get into the Bible and other holy scriptures and stuff. But so yeah, so to expound on the blood stuff, there's like certain foods that are good for your blood. Onions is one of them. Like I've talked about beets being a magic food. Like you say, why doesn't he mention this or that? But onions. Like I've been eating a ton of them, and like definitely really really good for you. Just like put them in with your cooking, like your beans, your soups, your tomatoes. Whatever, you can pretty much put them with anything, and it's really 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 good for you. You can it opens up your pores and like kind of like it's in a lymphatic detoxification and other things there. So definitely can't emphasize that enough. I've talked like other things that are really good for you, like raw milk, separate stuff on that. Nutraceuticals, I've like talked about them in the past. Some people are really 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 big on nutraceuticals, and like I do believe in them. Like there's certain ones like the D3. Almost everybody is, especially in the wintertime when we don't have the natural sunlight or we get free D3. Almost everybody's deficient in vitamin D3. B12 is another really good one, or just B complex in general. The one I do still use, iodine. But the reason I stopped really using the nutraceuticals is like, and say like there were to be some kind of like a bad scenario to play out, where like you're taking all this stuff and then you couldn't get it all of a sudden. Then I think it's going to do you more harm to like basically remove that from your body real quick. It's almost like a psychological thing as well. Like you're going to say, oh man, I don't have my this, I don't have my that. And not only that, but like I've seen people like my father, he carries a box around with him, literally a box with like 27 things in it. And he takes this, all these every day. And it's like you think you're cheating death, or you think, and like the truth is, folks, eat a balanced diet. Like we all remember the food pyramid from school. There's really a lot of truth to that. I'm not saying that it's accurate. I think maybe it has a little bit too much emphasis on certain areas, but like eat a well-balanced diet. Like obviously leafy greens, you got a B12. Some of the stuff, it's very hard to get B12, but like obviously organic, if you can get it or afford organic or grow it yourself as well. But definitely just eat a balanced diet. I've cut out a lot of meats, to be honest with you. Like I really believe with the ambient radiation building in the air, it like stores itself in dense tissue. And meat is one of them, like beef, probably not good. Fish, a lot of fish is really not good for you either. Very, very like heavy metals, a lot of radiation as well there right now. So yeah, I can't emphasize the eating a good balanced diet. And like I said, the nutraceuticals, the iodine I talked about in the past, I recommend crystalline-based iodine, not from seaweed or kelp. The oceans have been polluted for a number of years now. And if you can get the iodine, I get it from the doctor group, Global Healing Network. He has some of the best, in my opinion. I really don't even get it anywhere else. So, if you haven't ever watched my video on the placebo effect, it's like a must-watch. Some of my proudest work. Like I go into like just really, really deep elements of just the placebo effect, and I found an immense amount of value in it. Like and there's a book I've read by this Joe Dispenza called "You Are the Placebo." And like I've like taken it even a step further, and like it's almost like it gets into the in Mongolia. I've talked about in my Mongol presentations. This internal alchemy, where like you have the ability, like say your wrist hurts or your kidney hurts, like just by like applying like certain like positive energy through thought and like through meditation or just like through like a metaphysical process, a Dianetic process, you can like heal yourself. It's like almost like you're a robot. essentially, or like an android, and like we have abilities like reptilian abilities, maybe some more than others with certain blood types, or like people who are near-death experiencers, people who, like I said, are very wealthy and can afford certain, to eat a certain way and have ever since they were younger or whatever. But internal alchemy is a really cool thing. I recommend checking that out if you get a chance. You see me sweating here. I'm going to get into detoxification here as well. Also really, really important. So you can almost like print your own medicine, essentially, like through like neurotransmitters and other things. And like by taking drugs, alcohol, things that don't belong in your body, like processed foods, it destroys this ability. Like it takes you out takes away your ability to like tune into like a higher frequency or like a higher level of consciousness or something like that. And but anyways, I've talked about the 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide. I have immense work on the past, like root canal in a bottle. Some like my proudest work. I could have gotten killed for it probably, but I've had 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide videos, like many of them, and all my past suppressed medical science videos. I talk about it as well, but I don't even take it that much anymore. Like it's such an amazing thing that like just to know that like if I needed a root canal, I could use it, and I wouldn't even need it. And like people say, well, if you stop taking it, it's just like an antibiotic, you're gonna have a problem. No, I stopped taking this stuff for like almost 6 months completely. Like every once in a while, my root canals, I don't need them. Completely like cauterizes it. Like just like when you put hydrogen peroxide on stuff, I've also I can get rid of warts, all kinds of stuff. Like it really, really steps on doctors' toes, and they really don't like me. Somebody like me, just some punk ass person, hillbilly from Pennsylvania, talking about this, and like, it really, 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 really bothers a lot of people, and so I, like I said, just knowing that you have it to fall back on, it almost creates like a positive, like energy or something like that, or like I said, it's like almost like you can print it yourself, like you have it. It's like weird. But like I said, it's like there's a placebo effect, and the inverse of that is the nocebo effect. You can look up the nocebo effect, and like I really believe if you have like nutraceuticals you take every day, and then you don't have them, that you're like gonna like freak out if something were to get bad. Just like other things, like people who take drugs or whatever else. But yeah, I would love to, like I said, get some like actual real doctors to back me on some of this stuff I'm talking about. I did a recent video on fake diseases, and I really believe the celiac disease, like only girls seem to get it, and like it's like basically for egg harvesting, and like it's basically human engineering to basically like try to evolve girls with a tight uterus or small uterus. Like I'm not trying to be graphic or anything, but like that's what these evil people are doing behind. Like that's what the real doctors do behind the scenes, and like just like I'm not even going to get into it, but like there's a lot of the Nazis in this country. And like when Putin and the Russians come out saying like they want to denazify the West, like there's really a lot of truth to what they're saying. And like the Germans have tried at least twice, and they've gotten their ass kicked both times. And like I can tell you, the third time they're not going to live to see a fourth attempt. So like I talked about sweating and just detoxifying in general. Like I can't emphasize that enough. Like just if there's bad, like get all the bad stuff out. Keep your body constantly flowing. I don't wear deodorant at all. Like one of the biggest secrets to life, like by far, my life completely changed. And like the smell that it emits, it almost is like ether. It gets into like this like sophisticated messengers that the brain prints or something like that. And like it's like almost like the Akashic record you can tune into through your smell. And like others, like it's like certain things like you can smell fear, or you can smell like passion, you can smell like all kinds of stuff. I have videos on the Akashic record, or a video, what is the Akashic record as well. I'm pretty sure there's all kinds of stuff in the past. Please check out my past work. But it's really important, especially for men, to detoxify a lot right now. The testicles is one of the particular areas where a lot of like radioactive stuff and a lot of heavy metals and other things will accumulate, and like it's not good. Like I honestly see a lot of issues in like there's several things. I told you before that like thyroid cancer is a lot of the reason people will die with radiation, intestinal cancer, sarcoma, bone cancer, the blood cancer, leukemia, but also like testicular cancer. If it gets in your testicles, it'll go in your blood probably anyway. But I'm going to see a lot of people that, especially if had kids, will eventually get their testicles cut off, because like it's that like it'll kill you like eventually. I mean, I'm not trying to be graphic there either, but from a detoxification standpoint, like if you probably had a Geiger counter, your testicles would probably scream. You had one that really worked. like I try to, like I said, get like some of the stuff I'm talking about falls into like just general knowledge. Like I really don't have a whole lot of other stuff that I haven't covered yet. So, I'll probably continue to bring these in the future. I really don't have a lot of other stuff that I want to talk about right now. I covered a lot of interesting stuff, and I appreciate the viewership that I do have. As always, thanks for stopping in here on the Archangel 15. Take care, folks.